Hello. I decided to make a video again for, well, this will kind of be 2 months left Valentine's Day present for my girlfriend. And because I can't express adequately how I feel about her to her when she's in front of me. So I figured I'd be better at it when I'm not directly talking to her, because then it's harder for me to tell her how I feel. So this is going to be for her. First of all, I have never felt so strongly about anyone in my entire life, regardless, girlfriend, friends, anything, no crush or ex of mine or anything. I've never felt the way that I feel about Sidney. And it's entirely crazy because I've only known her since October. And I mean, I know it could be, people say it could be infatuation or lust or whatever, but it goes so much deeper than that. And I would know firsthand what that's about. I've experienced my fair share with it. So I truly believe, and I know, that I love her. And to love her more than I've ever loved anything in my life is incredibly scary. I can't picture my life without her in it anymore. Regardless of if she were to leave or we were to go our separate ways, I wouldn't be able to picture my life without having her in it. Like, the picture just goes blank and I can't figure out what I would do without her. And that alone scares the fuck out of me. I don't know what I would do if she were to ever change her mind. Not that I think she will, because I believe she's entirely sincere in saying that she feels the same way about me that I do about her, but I don't know, I can't imagine my life without her anymore, and I never have felt that way about anyone before. It's always been, I lived without you before, I can live without you again. Regardless of how I felt directly after they left. But I always knew deep down that I was going to be okay. And I don't think I'd be okay if she were to leave. I mean, I'd still go on living as long as she were at least partially in my life. But I wouldn't be happy. But, I mean, I don't think I have to worry about it. I mean, I can see in her eyes when she looks at me that she loves me. And I've never had that with anybody else before. You can kind of just feel how much we love each other when you're around us. There's like an undeniable chemistry between us that I've never seen in anybody before. Even, like, my friends will tell me, like, you guys can tell you complement each other well. And I think we do. We get along really well. And we're different in all the right ways, and it's, like, alike in all the right ways. And I've never had that with anybody. Usually the differences become too much for me to deal with, but her differences for me just seem to keep me more interested in her. I have, like, a security in our relationship and in her that I've never had with anybody in my life. It's always something I've been looking for, but I could never find it because everybody had done something to break the trust that I'd put in them. And she hasn't done anything to jeopardize the way that I trust her. I trust her so much more than I've ever trusted anybody in my life, and that is scary. She has more power to hurt me than anybody I've ever come across in my life. Like, regardless, my ex-girlfriend, everybody combined, she could hurt me more than that. And that's incredibly scary for me to realize, because I don't ever want to be hurt that way. I mean, I was hurt when my ex left, but I got through that. But I don't know that I could get through losing Sidney. I mean, she's become like the best part of my day, and the part of my day that I look forward to. Like, I wake up and it's Monday right now, so I'd be waiting until Saturday when I can see her again. That is the highlight of my week, is spending my weekends with her. Excuse me. She kept me up until 4 o'clock in the morning last night, so I'm a little tired. I don't know, I guess I honestly, right now, without a doubt, I would marry her if given the opportunity. If I could marry her right now and it be legal and recognized in our state, I would do it. If I could live with her right now, I would for sure do that. Because as much as I love seeing her when I have the opportunity and waking up next to her every Sunday morning, despite how angry she gets when I pull the covers off of her, I would give anything to have that every day. I would rather be sleeping on halfway off the bed, my leg hanging over, and her like having no covers because I steal them all when I roll off the bed, than having a big, empty, cold bed to myself. I would sleep on the floor if I just knew she was there. And I mean, I'm a pretty selfish person, admittedly. So, for me to put her so much before me is strange. I mean, I never expected to feel like I wanted to be with someone ever again, let alone love them more than I'd loved anybody in my life. I mean, this weekend, we just kind of sat there when we went to bed and laid there and talked. And it was undoubtedly the best night of my life. I mean, just laying there being with her was perfect. I mean, she's perfect in herself, but just having her there and just laying there and talking about anything and everything was, I can't even describe it. It was amazing. I mean, then waking up next to her in the morning and she's all groggy from sleep and just... If I could wake up next to her every day, I would be a morning person, without a doubt. I don't know, I get really emotional when I talk about her, so I apologize in advance. I mean, it's like to the point where, like, I'll wait on her text messages. Like, if my phone goes off and I know I'm not texting anybody else, I will go get my phone, regardless of how far away it is. Like, if it's upstairs and I hear it, I will go get it. And I'm incredibly lazy, so that says something. But I don't know, it's just like, I hang on every word she says. Like, she could be talking about random shit, like Tech 9 or something, and I'd be still hanging on every word she says. And I mean, I know we're not that far into our relationship, and we're going to have rough times and things are going to get hard and we're gonna want to give up. But I know that I could never give up on her. I never want to see her feeling alone or unhappy ever again. And I know that any problem that presents itself to us is anything, there's nothing that we couldn't work through. We've already had tough times from other people interfering in our relationship, but it didn't really damage us, but it made us stronger together than we were before, which is saying something because we were incredibly strong before. We've built a very strong foundation for our relationship to grow on. And I know that I'm young and she's young, but I most certainly can see a future with her. I can picture us living in Kenyon Square, wherever she wanted to live, and I would be happy just because she's there. I don't have to be in the country and have acres upon acres of land and dirt bikes, and I would be happy as long as I'm next to her. I mean, I'm not a city person. I like the country. And I've always said that I would live out in the middle of nowhere with tons and tons of land. But she came along and she's a city girl. And she wants to live in the city. And I think, well, I know that I could most definitely do that for her. I don't know, I dream about her every night. Regardless of what I'm dreaming about, she's somehow in my dreams. I've never had that with anybody before either. I mean, I wake up thinking of her and I fall asleep thinking of her. And every moment in between, somehow she's on my mind. Like everything I do, if I do something like exciting or just even watching TV, I wish she was there with me. Like every experience that I go through, I want to share it with her. I want to make memories with her that I've never made with anybody else. And there's just so many things that I want to do with her. But I know we have our whole life ahead of us to do them. So I'm not scared that one of us will get tired and leave and excuse me, but I know that she's going to be there. And it's probably one of the most amazing feelings, other than loving her, to know that I'm not going to be alone again. Regardless, she's going to be there, and I will do the same for her. I mean, until the day that I die, I'm going to love her. And it's so much different than I've ever felt for anybody else. That it's really scary. And it was scary at first because I fell in love with her really fast. Like our first date, and then I knew I would love her then, but I didn't expect to fall that fast. Like by the third date, even the second date actually, seeing her under those zoo lights, I knew I loved her. And it was scary. I didn't know what I was going to do because I didn't know if she felt the same, and I didn't want to scare her away. Even now, I'm still afraid that I could scare her away because of how much I actually feel for her. I mean, I can't adequately express it, and I don't think that I ever will be able to because I don't think there's words for it. But if she could get inside my head and truly see how much I love her, I think that thought alone would be scary. I mean, I don't know, I wish she could get inside my head anyway. I would love for her to see herself the way I do. I know she doesn't believe that she's beautiful. I know how she could look in the mirror and not think that she is. I mean, I guess I know what made her feel that way, but I don't know how anybody could tell that girl that she's not beautiful. It never ceases to amaze me. I mean, I wake up next to her and my first thought is, oh my god, that girl is beautiful. And then I just, every moment that I'm with her and I just look at her, I always remind myself how lucky I am to make sure that I never forget or take advantage of what I have. I mean, she is easily the most amazing, caring, loving, breathtaking, just all around perfect person I've ever met in my life. And I don't know what I did to deserve her, but I know that I don't. But I'm far too selfish to let her look for anything better. I would never let her go. Ever. I would always be holding on, even if just by a thread, that we would be together. And it's crazy for me to feel this way so young, because I know the statistics say that it won't work out, but I have all the faith in the world that it will. I mean, knowing the way that I feel about that girl, there's no way that it couldn't work out. And to look in her eyes and know that she feels the same way that I do, it has to be real. There's no other explanation for it. I mean, to love someone, truly love someone with no conditions or tribulations or anything, I think it's one of the most wonderful feelings anybody could ever experience. And I hope that everyone at least has the chance to experience this, even if for a little while. Because with the way I feel every day, knowing she's mine, nothing else could make me happier. And I sincerely hope that she knows that. So, on that note, I'm going to go make lunch. It's about 2 o'clock now. So, Sidney, I love you. You are the most beautiful girl that I've ever laid eyes on. And I can't wait to marry you. So, I hope you have a good day today. And I will be seeing you soon. Bye, baby.